Hey folks, welcome back to another challenge update. A new year, but the same stock. So it's really just a progression of what's been going on. Here's the daily chart of Alphabet. Some people think because it's a new year, the stock market might do something different, but there's really no reason for Alphabet or any other stock to just climb from here because the drivers of the stock market don't change from the end of December to January. So whatever the technical patterns happens to be last year, we'll just continue on to this year. But what happened last week was Alphabet did move up a little bit from 87 to 88. So that's about a 50-cent price appreciation. And near the end of the week on Thursday, because the price was so beaten down, I decided to sell a bear spread and made a little bit more money for the week. So in total options, I gain $199, which brings my total premium earned for last year to $5,668. So if I could manage to make another, like say $5,000 over the next 24 weeks, and Alphabet rises in price to my average cost of $99, then I basically will have completed my challenge of making $10,000. But as of right now, because the stock price is so low, at only 88, which is about $11 per share lower than my average cost, I am down $3,000 Canadian still. So you can see the most recent movement here is just a slight tick up from the previous week, but I am still below the zero line. So this is currently an unrealized loss. But I'm happy with the $500 gain over last week because I was at minus 3,500 before. So let's take a look at what I can do this week to hopefully make some more gains. The first thing I'll point out is Alphabet did something unexpected, which it has not done in nearly 20 years, using a log graph. If you remember from like previous videos, I mentioned there's this basically support level going all the way back to 2004, which is when Alphabet IPO'd. And basically this straight blue line going upwards has never been broken before on a weekly basis. So you can see here in 2008, the stock dropped below the blue line, but closed the week pretty much on the line itself. And each bar represents a week because I'm on the weekly graph right now. And then that didn't happen again until 2002 during that short recession. Again, Alphabet fell below the blue line, bounced up, and then closed the week above it. The following week, the stock closed much higher than the blue line up here. And then from there, it was a big rally all the way up until last year, 2022. It fell again. This was in October. That was one of the lowest points of the stock market and definitely the low of the year for Alphabet. But you can see that it still closed the week on the line. And that brings us to last week, which was this red candle right here. You can see it not only went below the blue line, but it also closed below the blue line. It closed right here at about 88.20. So that was the first time, since 2004, where the weekly close was under this blue line. If I just zoom out here, you can see how long this blue line has been in place, acting as support all these years until just recently. So this is a very bearish indicator since it hasn't really done this before. And there's a lot of uncertainty right now for Alphabet. So we'll take a look at the option chain here. But even though there's only 4 days of trading and the expiration date for this week ends just 3 days from now, on Friday, January 6th, the implied volatility is quite high. You can see it's at 37. Normally for short weeks, this is around 30, but there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now, especially in the beginning of the year. A lot of people are not sure which direction the market's going to move. January is always a big month because if January overall, if the stock market is up, then most of the time throughout the whole year, the stock market would be up. And if it's down, like last year, then for the whole year, the stock market tends to go down, which happened last year. So a lot is weighing on what's going to happen this month. We'll have to see. But for the short term, we can take a look at the daily price action. So this is the daily chart for Alphabet and see what the stock price is doing. Now, last week I had a put at 87 and a call at 92. I think I'm going to keep my 87 put because I haven't bought any Alphabet shares in the 80s yet. So if I do buy 100 share at 87, that's going to lower my average cost. And also this low of the previous few weeks is higher than the previous low back in late October, early November. That is at least short term a bullish sign. So unless we go below this previous low, there is a chance that the stock will go back up to over $90 to at least reach this 21 EMA, which is the average of the previous 21 days. You can see there's a gap here that Alphabet tried to fill today, but it did not work out. There's still an hour or so of trading left, so I can put in my trades before the market closes, but I don't think it's going to reach up to 92 by the end of today. By the end of the week, there is a chance we could go higher. Based on the implied volatility, we could go up here to around like 96. But if the premiums are not going to be that good, then I probably won't have any calls. I'll just have a put. So going back to the option chain here at 87, you can make $44. And then at 96, which is where I want to put my call, it's only $3 for the 96 call, which is not really worth it. So I'm only going to sell a put for now, and looks like it's dropped down even further. I'll go with a $42 premium and see what happens. Another, I guess, short-term bullish signal is that Alphabet is up today 1.5%, even though if we look at the overall S&P 500, it's down about 0.5%. And if we look at the NASDAQ, it's down also about 0.5%, which means technically Google is outperforming. Oh, there we go. That just filled. Google is outperforming the index by 2% today, which is quite a lot. I don't know if there's any news out for the company. Over the last few weeks, there seems to be this downward channel in place where the stock has just been falling and falling, but it looks like today we have broken out of that channel. Now, usually when there's a break of the channel, it goes back to retest it. So it might go back to around 87, which is the top of this channel by the end of the week, which I will mark with this dotted blue line here. This would be Friday, January 6th. But if the market is bullish on the stock, then it could just go higher from there. Longer term, this is going back to the weekly chart again. If Alphabet finishes this week above this blue line, then that's a positive sign. If for some reason the stock finishes below this blue line again, then we basically have 2 weeks. The stock has broken out of its trend, and especially if it's really negative and we close even lower, then we could see a massive move down all the way to the mid 70s, because I think that's where the next strong support level is, somewhere around here. And then the last thing I'll just mention, which is another bullish indicator, is whenever you have several bars going in one direction but the size is diminishing like this, you can see how this is a really large red bar, but then it gets smaller and then smaller and then smaller. That usually signals a reversal pretty soon. So that's going to put pressure going up, because it means the stock is running out of sellers, which is why the downward movement is getting smaller and smaller. And eventually, once the sellers, at least in the short term, run out and they stop pushing the stock down, well, then the stock will most likely go up, and that's when buyers come in, and then we can build momentum going up. So if the stock moves up a lot this week to like maybe in the 90s, then I might sell a call at 96 or 97, but otherwise I'll just leave it for the rest of this week. So the premiums, it's going to be pretty small at just $42 US, minus $1 for commission, which is 41, and then that's going to be $56 Canadian. So not a lot of premiums this week, and that's because I'm just waiting for what the price action is going to do, because right now I'm sort of uncertain which direction the market wants to take it. So thanks a lot for watching, and let's see how this goes by the end of the week, and I'll talk to you in the next one.